dwarves of all genders have beards.
I'm
So
not sure.
I'm pretty sure that's true, actually.
that way they can
I've heard different
protect it.
things.
They
I feel
can
like I've
protect
seen.
themselves from breathing in the dust of underground.
That seems
I
that
felt
that
like-
part seems made up.
Yep,
But I
that's
can
totally
get
made up.
I can get behind the other parts though.
Suzu ought to have control of Damon as well.
I do not have control of Cardi.
I feel like one of the more interesting variations on that is from what is that? Shadow of the Demon Lord, where the dwarven females don't have full beards, but they have badass mutton chops.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, yeah.
So I still don't have access to my character sheet, and can't move the token either.
Rip.
I can't move my token.
Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, your token was not connected. All right. That's done.
That is a thing that will do it.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at. So let's do healing.
I can see your character sheet coming up right away.
Let me try again.
Damn, that is a strong fucking ranger. You're a melee ranger?
Yes.
Yeah. It's got Havelock strength.
Well, you're gonna have to be dragging my ass around, so.
Oh, it's loading. It's loading. Maybe. Haha.
It's loathing. It's loathing.
I'm loathing. It's loading.
I'm loathing this loading right.
You guys did 20 point buy, right?
15.
What? We did 15.
15 or 20?
You did 15. Standard.
20 would
My
be
God,
insane.
I have
15
so
is
many-
standard.
With
Yeah,
six-
did not. Never
Six
mind.
players, that would be bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Hooray!
yeah.
We
Okay.
beat,
Yeah.
we beat the game at level 1.
I tinkered with the idea of, since there's 6 people, I tinkered with the idea of making it a 10 point buy. But after I researched it, that would basically, all that would really end up doing was limit your guys' classes to like single ability score dependent classes, and then it wouldn't really hurt you much anyway. So it would basically mean you couldn't play like multiple ability dependent ones.
So no clerics.
So yeah, like that,
So
and that
no
was like
most
that didn't
things.
seem like fun to me.
Yeah, no lots of classes.
Well, you just probably end up playing different classes with similar effectiveness in terms of like defeating combats, but less fun in terms of playing what you want to do, which would be like the opposite of the point. So you guys decided, you're working for someone, I think, Vanya?
Yes.
Okay.
Walker's character and Cardi, sorry, their name slipped my mind for a second.
You can say he, it's fine.
I'm gonna say they, his practice. Life practice.
Mm-hmm.
We work for a magic shop owner in Sandpoint, and I think we live in like a couple buildings that they own and rent to us, sort of like small apartments or something like that. And yeah, we make stuff for the shop and for people around town.
All right.
Various. Well, I make alchemist things, and Cardi makes, I imagine, small magical trinkets to repair. And I did
right now. It's just probably armor and weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, and like little tiny trinkets.
Yeah. Baubles,
Yeah.
doodads.
There are a number of merchants. I'm trying to think of like which one would make the most sense. I mean, oh shit. There's a brothel. Didn't even get to that part. The Pixie's Kitten.
Interesting.
Many of Sandpoint's crasser locals have a much more colorful name for this establishment, but Kay Tesserani runs the town brothel with class and distinguished grace. She pays her girls and boys quite well, and the 3 Shawanti bouncers she employs are more than enough to handle troublemakers. That's funny.
Yeah, we weren't sure whether you wanted to make up a character, because I don't know how impactful a character like that would be. Kind of, the only thing in my backstory was that they have a daughter. I guess it doesn't have to be a daughter, but the daughter would wake up late at night and come and watch Vanya while she worked, because Vanya is kind of a night owl, and she startled Vanya, and that led to the explosion.
I think the Barretts might make the most sense. Let me find some more information here. They have a son.
Okay.
A boy. There are other ones, but I think that one would be a good fit. I can find them. I think we could probably say that you rent the houses, or you rent a house from the Barrett family, Allergast and Amel, and they have 2 children, Aaron Barrett and a baby Vera. And you probably live like somewhere nearby them, but I don't know if, I mean, how necessary is it for you that they're your employer?
I mean, it's not going to be like a thing where we expect to get a discount or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's
'Cause
just our backstory.
Yeah, there's plenty of merchants for you guys to like be involved with. There's 2 alchemists in Sandpoint, Oliver Potiker and what is his name? Nisk Tander. Nisk Tander, you would probably know, owns Bottled Solutions, which is a cluttered shop filled with shelves upon shelves of bottles, bags, and other alchemical containers. And I think Vanya would know that he has a rather higher opinion of his own brewing abilities than he actually has.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And 5% every alchemical or potion item in his shop has a 5% chance of not working as intended.
Ah, good to know. That's
Either-
probably why I am not working for him.
Yeah. Quite possibly he sold you the polypurpose panacea.
Oh, this is from back in Magnamar.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
okay.
this is from school
Yeah.
days.
Gotcha. Never mind.
Yeah, we
When Vanya first learned how to make polypurpose Panacea, and
Right.
Cardi decided to drink an entire bottle worth instead of a single dose.
Yeah. Okay, so you probably know that. You probably decided that Sandpoint would be a good spot for you, considering that Nisk is a little bit guarded with his items, his potions and
Mhm.
things. Doesn't seem to like people looking too closely at it before they buy it.
and makes it reasonable why Allergast is employing an alchemist to try to take some of that market.
Yeah, I think there would definitely be a market there. And Oliver
Maybe less
Potiker,
experienced, but more competent.
yeah, Oliver Potiker owns the Pillbug's Pantry. Tucked between several old tenements, nothing but a painting of a pillbug perched on a mushroom indicates this building is anything more than yet another home. The proprietor of this establishment is a short, rotund man named Oliver Pillbug Potiker, who was an accomplished herbalist, gardener, and who sells medicine and potions. But he doesn't appear to be a people person by any stretch, so there's probably some
Yeah.
market share to be gained there.
Yep. And Vanya isn't either, but she had. I think the Barretts are probably the business people, and she's the
Yeah.
maker.
I think that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yep. I wish that they would have included more of those characters in the player handout, because those are not in either of the player handouts that I've seen.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would also. There's so many characters.
Especially, they're encouraging you to have ties to Sandpoint.
Yeah,
Give
and it's
me
like,
NPCs to make ties with.
yeah, that's one of the reasons why I thought, like, let's talk about your guys' backstories, what you're here for, and I can make some suggestions.
So you said it was Allergast, Barrett, and what was the wife's name?
Allergast and Amele, Amel or Emil, however.
Amelie,
Amelie,
maybe,
Amel.
or
I think
Amel.
Amel is how I read it, but whatever. Let's see here.
And the fact that we rent a house from them makes sense. Was whenever Vanya blew the place up, that Cardi was the one to rescue Vanya, and also, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, not also, but yeah, that all makes sense.
I think that makes quite a bit of sense.
Wow.
What's a WoW? I like WoW. Not that well.
So I'm trying to like figure out my last level 1 spell that I just get for free, and so instead of looking at what they do, because I have all the spells that I do the things that I want, I'm looking at what I can craft with them.
Right.
And the Endure Element spell by itself is kind of a lame spell, but you can use it to craft something called Comfort's Cloak. A favorite cloak of rangers, this cloak is a patchwork of hides and fur. Comfort's Cloak grants a constant Endure Elements effect to the wearer and grants a +4 competence bonus to saves against disease, energy drain, effects that cause fatigue or exhaustion, and poisons. Furthermore, while the wearer is resting, he gains twice his hit die and hit points for 8 hours of rest instead of the typical 1 hit point per hit die. When taking a full 24 hours of rest, the character regains 5 times his hit die and hit points instead of twice his hit die and hit points.
Nice.
Sweet.
Pretty good.
That's an insane cloak, is what that is.
Roymond and what is Whitney's character's name?
Blythe.
Blythe. Do you guys have any ideas about why you were in Sandpoint for the festival? The upcoming festival?
Festival? No. But
Okay.
I do live here, so there's that.
That works.
I wrote a whole backstory, actually.
Did you send that to me, or did you?
I put it in my character sheet.
Gotcha. Okay, grew up in an orphanage in Sandpoint, so that would be Tarandarok Academy.
You got it.
Oh, do you know that already?
No, but I'll write that down.
Tarandarok Academy. Can I show you this? Show you that. They might not have it as a handout, but I can give it to you anyway.
Okay.
As families thronged to Sandpoint, the town founders quickly came to realize that they needed somewhere to handle the education of children, to house unfortunate orphans, and to busy older children and keep them from becoming delinquents. The answer was the Tarandarok Academy, part school, part orphanage. The academy is run by retired adventurer Ilsuari Gandithus. He volunteered to be the academy's headmaster if he could have the basement of his 2-story building to himself. The town agreed, and today the rooms below the academy are almost a museum of the strange things and trophies Ilsuari has collected over his years. He keeps the chambers locked, but the children who attend classes on the ground floor and the orphans who live on the upper floor have countless stories about what's down there, ranging from Goblin Farm to a nest of phantom spiders to the Sandpoint Devil itself. Although the contents are much less... I'm not going to say that. Well, you're an adult now.
Yeah.
So you might know. Although the contents are much less sinister, Ilsuari is all too happy to show off his collection of exotic weapons, strange maps, and monster trophies to anyone who asks nicely. So it sounds like that's not much of a secret to me. if he shows it to anyone who asks nicely.
Yeah, and maybe not so much. Basically, what I wrote in his backstory was that a ranger had found him in the forest outside of Sandpoint and brought him here to be taken care of. And the clerics healed his leg, but weren't able to heal it all the way. But he doesn't know that part. He just thinks they suck.
Gotcha.
But because they weren't able to heal his leg all the way, they're kind of interested in him because that's a rare thing that their magic isn't potent enough to fix somebody like that. So he had people that were interested in him and spending more time around him than they might have otherwise done. And that's sort of how he got introduced to the clergy, and his interest in the divine and faith and stuff started happening.
Gotcha. Well, that would make sense. How old is he?
Let me pull open the sheet. I did a random roll because the YPCG is wonderful. He is 24 years of age. and he is a 3 foot 1 inch tall, 35-pound halfling.
All right. The little guy.
Yep.
Yeetable. Perfectly yeetable.
Wait, how
Very
tall is he?
yeetable
3
AF.
foot 1 inch.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Very
That's normal
puntable.
size for a halfling.
I think it's on the upper end.
For
Yeah.
height.
It's
I
3
think-
inches shy of max height for a halfling.
I feel like you might
Okay.
be a little emaciated, but that's also cool because you're
Um,
affected.
Actually, right in the middle of typical range, because typical range for halflings is 32 to 38 pounds, so 35 is like
Really?
dead in the middle.
I would have thought higher than I would have thought, like 50, 60. Just based on human,
At some
like
point,
child
at
sizes.
some point, you're gonna be standing on my shoulders, and we're
Oh,
gonna be.
fuck yeah. No, for sure. Are you joking? Hell yeah, I'm gonna leverage all of the things that come with being a tiny person.
I mean, I'm
Not
a
the
dwarf,
least
so I'm
of
not much
which-
taller.
Not the least of which is goofy mounts. Looking forward to it.
Cardi, can I transfer 4 torches of my ownership to you?
For what?
Torches?
You have 4 torches?
Yes.
Sure.
Because that will put me, I will own them, but then that will put me under my weight limit because I'm not very strong.
Yes,
that I can move
I
them
am absolutely packing well. Dwarves are not affected by encumbrance.
I'm not
Okay,
either,
well,
because
I
I'm
will-
lame.
I will transfer those torches to you. Then they're regular old torches.
Cool.
thus
I don't
allowing
need
me
them.
to-
I can do dancing lights. So
Yeah.
Roymond,
Yeah.
I think that you would also probably have a special connection to Abstelar Xantis, who is the father of the Sandpoint Cathedral, which is a multi-faith cathedral. And considering your character's interest in a variety of faiths, you would almost certainly be familiar with the original chapel, which burnt down several years ago, but had shrines to Abadar, Gosre, Sarenrae, Shaylin, Desna. Who else?
So pretty much all the good deities.
Yes, Abadar, Desna, Aristil, Gosre, Sarenrae, and Shaylin.
Gazra is the only one in there that's probably not true, like, good.
Yeah, like straight up good.
Yeah.
Gosra is the fish god, right? Like fishing.
He's the dual god of nature.
Okay.
He's the one that whose chapel we were invading.
Yep.
In Carrion Crown.
Yeah, I thought so. You would also know that the previous cathedral burned down several years ago, but construction has been underway, and the Swallowtail Festival is a celebration of the reopening of the new cathedral, or
Oh,
refurbished.
there you go. That's why I'm here then.
So that would definitely, almost certainly, be why you are particularly interested.
I don't know why the old one burnt down, though, I guess.
Yes, I think you probably would know the gossip, which is that there was a fire that burned it down and killed the original father and his daughter who were inside. They died in the fire. It's part of it. It is the punctuating tragedy of what is locally known as the Late Unpleasantness. And I can find a little more information on that instead of just going off of my memory. It's a series of unfortunate happenings over the last several years. Roll20 will work with me.
The great unpleasantness sounds so mild.
The late
Or
unpleasantness.
the late it still
But,
sounds
yeah.
mild.
Yeah.
As Pathfinder things goes, that's very tame.
Yeah.
Gotta have somewhere to grow from. if we launch immediately into it's Cthulhu.
Who said anything
I,
about
I
Cthulhu?
hope I hope we don't immediately jump to Cthulhu.
I don't want to jump to Cthulhu.
We can save Cthulhu for next session.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I
Much
want to be
appreciated.
at least level
Yeah.
1 still.
The late unpleasantness, as the locals in Sandpoint refer to it, was a series of violent and tragic events which shook the normally peaceful town in the year 4702, which is listed as several years ago. That no one really knows what brought the events about. Yeah. Well, if you guys are locals, like you've grown up and lived here, you would almost certainly know about the Chopper. Sandpoint was no stranger to crime or even to murder. Once or twice a year, passions flared, robberies went bad, jealousy grew too much to bear, or one too many drinks were drunk, and someone would end up dead. When the body count suddenly began to mount, the town had no idea how to react. Sandpoint's sheriff at the time was a no-nonsense man named Casp Averton, a retired city watch officer from Magnamar, yet even he was ill-prepared for the murderer who came to be known as Chopper. Over the course of one long winter month, every few days brought a new victim to light. Each was found in the same terrible state, bodies bearing deep cutting wounds to the neck and torso, with both hands and feet severed and stacked nearby, and the eyes and tongue missing entirely, plucked crudely from the head. Yeah, this is the late unpleasantness, quote unquote. This isn't even the whole thing. This is just the beginning. Over the course of that terrible month, Chopper claimed 25 victims. His uncanny knack at eluding traps and pursuit quickly wore on the town guard, taking particular toll on Sheriff Averton, who increasingly took to drinking. Many believe they even took to beating his wife and daughter, and that in its own way may have been the genesis of the Sandpoint fire. In any event, Sheriff Averton himself became Chopper's last victim, slain when he finally caught the killer, mutilating his latest victim in the side street that would come to be known as Chopper's Alley, which you can see on the map. Yet in the battle that followed, Averton managed a telling blow against the murderer. When the town guard found the sheriff dead with another victim several minutes later, they were able to follow the bloody trail left by the killer, a trail that led straight to the stairs of Stutz Rock, a prominent stone outcropping just north of the old light. At first, the town guard refused to believe the implications and feared the Chopper had come to claim poor Jervis Stute as his 26th victim. Yet what the guards found in the modest home, I don't know if you know what they found.
That's fine.
But you probably heard rumors that they found a strange, a horrific altar. And Stute was found dead at the base of the altar, having plucked his own eyes and tongue loose for a final offering. The guards collapsed the entrance of the chambers, burned Stute's house, tore down the stairs, and tried to forget. Stute himself was burned on the beach in a pyre, his ashes then blessed and scattered in an attempt to stave off an unholy return of his evil spirit from beyond the grave. Yeah. You probably know that the town guard who took up the mantle and chased down what they thought was the killer was the current sheriff, Bellor Hemlock. Only a few months after the horrific murders finally came to their tragic end, another travesty struck the town, this time not in the form of bloodied and mutilated citizens, but in that of a conflagration that claimed several lives and much of the northern part of town. The most notable loss was the Sandpoint Chapel, and its beloved priest, Ezakian Tobin, and his daughter, Nualia, though most of the surrounding buildings had to be rebuilt, at least in part. That is the late unpleasantness.
Okie dokie.
I think all of that would be certainly general enough that you would know.
Shit's fucking real.
Yeah. So just consider, if that is considered unpleasant, what the fuck could be
Life
bad?
really sucks a lot of the time. Oh yeah, I can do spell import. Oh my god, that's so nice. Okay. Does it work though? Hell yeah! Look at that shit. I didn't have to type any of that.
Things are coming together now.
Wasn't Andrew coming?
Thought so.
Supposedly.
He's commenting in Discord.
Key.
So, remind me, what is the festival going on in town about?
It is the reopening of the Sandpoint Chapel,
Okay.
or Sandpoint Cathedral. Okay, it's intermittently referred to as a chapel and a cathedral. So, whatever. Since the
Churchish
last one,
building.
yeah, the last one burned down several years ago. That is this big ass kind of tri-horned building in the north of town.
Makes sense.
That they have been hard at work repairing. What is Bly? Does she have a connection to Sandpoint, or is she just kind of?
I'm not sure. I kind of imagine her as just sort of a wanderer of sorts, acting as a guide in terms of profession, and sort of a. I wrote in backstory. She's just sort of impulsive and curious. So I imagine she would just be there, seeing what the hubbub is about, seeing all the people, just kind of seeing what's going on.
Sure.
Attending the festival out of curiosity more than anything else.
Does she work around Sandpoint as a guide, like in the Verissian wilds and the hinterlands, or is she just passing through?
I think she's from Nybor, so I kind of imagine she's in that area that she works.
Okay. So you might cross paths down near Sandpoint from time to time, and maybe get jobs around somewhere, like taking people to Sandpoint, maybe, but without necessarily being hugely invested in the town.
Yeah.
You might know another half elf, or is she half elf or no? There's another elven ranger who serves as a guide and kind of a patrol person, an elf named Shalelu and Asana, who she's a little bit more local. She doesn't really come into town all that often, but she does work the area surrounding Sandpoint, so it's quite possible that you and her have kind of stumbled across the same rangers caches from time to time, and may have somewhat of a professional relationship. Although if you want to have more than that, that's up to you.
Okay, good to know. I imagine it's just professional, but
I didn't mean necessarily. I mean, if you want to have a romantic relationship with her, that's up to you. But
oh man,
I meant I meant more of like a partnership.
probably not. I kind of picture Blythe as very friendly, but more trending toward being a.
Yeah, rangers.
Yeah.
Does Blythe have an animal companion, or is she?
Yeah. Well, I know the animal companion isn't technically a thing till like level 4. but right now I kind of wrote it up that she has just kind of a pet juvenile wolf.
Yeah, I think that you could have that wolf, but it wouldn't be a combat factor
Right.
until you hit the point where you gained it, like the true animal companion like stats and all.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. I
Yeah.
did want to ask you though about like training, because I know you can train animals, and then animal companions have certain training, and if that's something I need to do in story, or if there's training that can have occurred and apply.
Like to spend gold to train your animal. Is that what you mean?
No, I can't remember if it takes gold, but I mean to have it know those certain tricks or whatever. I need to look up the.
I believe that training an animal is. Is that a skill thing that you have to do over time?
Yeah, you have to use handle animal to teach it common tricks like stay or come here, that sort of
Right.
thing.
Let's see. So you have handle animal the skill.
Yeah.
How long does it take to teach him these tricks?
It depends. Let me look.
You can teach an animal a specific trick with 1 week of work and a successful handle animal check against the indicated DC.
It's like crafting, but with animals.
Yeah.
There also might be special rules for the ranger specifically about how that works.
And there are, but they don't apply until
You get it
Yeah,
as a
that-
companion.
animal companion. Yeah.
Right.
I guess I was just thinking as a pet, it makes sense to have some basic tricks like, come, stay, sit, whatever.
Well, I think we can see how good you are at it. Let's say that you've had a relationship with this. Everything I say now is going to sound. Let's say that, you came across this wolf and maybe you fed it from time to time, but it was kind of skittish and has only more recently started following you around and being more of a true pet. So let's say that you've had like 2 months with him. So if you want to take those 8 weeks and use those and you want to roll out your handle animal checks for
Okay.
whichever tricks you're trying to teach it. And whatever ones you succeed at, it knows.
Sounds good.
I just want
Question.
you to know that no matter how you're using relationship in this game, I'm into it.
That's
Of course you are.
reality, and that's not okay. Um,
As long as they don't say no.
that Tanner, Tanner, no, just no.
Bad Tanner.
Bad Tanner.
Bad Tanner.
Go take a walk.
Question for you: since she's gonna have this pet, even though she doesn't get the hint, like it as an animal companion, would you be okay if I have my familiar, even though I don't get to use it as familiar until I get my familiar?
What is your familiar?
Well, it was gonna be an armadillo, but since my god is Torag, I'm thinking maybe a badger.
A badger?
Yes, it would count as a weasel, because
Okay. You'd have it as a pet.
yeah, and then once I get the
Weird.
familiar, I would get to use it as a familiar.
Okay. Are you trying to train this badger to do
No,
shit? Or
I'm
you're
not. I just want to
keeping
have
it
him
as a pet
around
then?
and have. He's my pet badger.
Okay. That's seems fine to me. How much do badgers even cost?
Are you?
Well, I mean,
Well, you're not going to use them for anything, and you're going to get them for free
I'm gonna get him for free
later anyway.
at a later level. So
Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. We'll just have it for flavor. Just don't try to make him do
I'm
anything.
not. He's not gonna do anything. He's a pet.
Are you like? Are you gonna have the house rule that like your familiar can pretty much be whatever the fuck you want with whatever template applied?
As long as it makes like
Because
common sense,
if you remember
or as
that
long as it's like
we kind of talked about it, that
yeah. I hate the idea that you have to like pick whatever fucking animal, because people always pick the same like 3 because there's only like 3 or 4 that are like really good for the different builds, and then everybody's got a fucking armadillo or
fucking or a scorpion.
Yeah. It's like it's like hunter pets in World of Warcraft. Like,
yeah.
Everybody had the same fucking ones for all that time because you had to have the scorpion pet.
Yep.
What the fuck? Scorpions are OP as fuck.
Yeah.
Poison sting. Yeah.
So Walker, one of the house rules that I found out there on the interweb somewhere that I talked to Doll about is that basically you're like pick a familiar that you like the stats of and then pretend it is whatever animal you want, basically.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, I mean, badgers and weasels are in the same animal kingdom family. I was just gonna do the weasel template
Sure.
and
That's
call it a
fine.
badger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
just. I mean, if you want to take an armadillo and say it's the fucking raven and it has flight, then we might have to have a discussion about
yeah
why your armadillo can fly. But otherwise, I'm
okay. In that case, my badger is an armadillo badger.
That's fine.
Cool, because that is the one that I was gonna go for because I don't have AC. Like I'm a very squishy dwarf.
That's fine.
But I won't get him for a while. And even when I do get him, I don't know, because he's going to have a template. He's going to be a valet familiar, so his abilities might be overwritten from that anyway.
Yeah. Roymond, I think that you also knew Tsudo Kaijitsu, who is a fellow orphan.
Is that a martial art?
It sounds like it. It is Tianjia. Is that the continent? The Asian continent?
That sounds right.
Yeah, a Tianjia name. So you probably had at least a passing acknowledgement for Tsudo Kaijitsu, who was grew up in Tarandorok also.
Kaijitsu, is he not the kid of like Amiko and Longiku?
Amiko is his sister.
Okay.
I don't know that you know a ton about it. You probably, the town gossip would be that there's some kind of drama there, considering that Amiko is not an orphan, but her brother is.
Okay, that's what immediately was a red flag. Like,
yeah.
Well, look, what?
Sure. And you would also know Longiku is Amiko's father.
Oh, okay.
And he owns the Sandpoint Glassworks.
I feel so strongly that I'm watching an anime right now. There's so many names.
You include one Asian-inspired character in one adventure path ever, and suddenly it's an anime.
That was more than one name, wasn't it?
It was, but it's just one family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Tanner, you cut out. Or did I cut out?
No?
Spelled it out. But I think I don't think I thought Longiku and Ameko were like husband and wife.
No.
Longiku is, because I have a business relationship with both of them.
Yeah. She owns the Rusty Dragon Inn, which is a pretty popular inn around town. It's not the finest of all the inns. The White Deer would be a better looking one, but she is very personable. She plays. She's a bard, so she like most evenings she does at least 2 or 3 performances in her inn. Longiku is one of the part of like the original. He's considered like almost nobility in Sandpoint, I think. There are like a handful of families that are like somehow related to like the founding of the town.
Yeah, like first families or something like that.
Yeah, like first families in the town, and Longiku was one of those. I think he might have No, I think he is one of the first founders. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't clear on that family tree because it talked about the kaijutsus, but I don't think it ever showed what the relationship between the two was.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that makes sense though. Also for me to have a relationship with them and not the kind of ritzy place, because I imagine at the dive bar is where you have people getting shit faced and needing to buy some alchemist kindness.
Well,
And
there are other dive bars as well.
this is
Yeah.
like the one I know about, so that's why I
Yeah,
included
that's
it.
probably one of the more popular ones. There's
It's
also
a nice balance between popularity and roughness.
Yeah. See, there's the Two Night Brewery, but they don't sell their beer. Like, it's not a tavern. Where is? There's the Hagfish, which is I believe, just a tavern. Sandpoint's most popular tavern. And the Fat Man's Feed Bag is the most notorious. Bar fights are common. Sheriff Hemlock typically has to come down here 2 or 3 times a week to sort them out when they grow particularly violent or loud. I think probably most of the sailors do their drinking there. Majority of the clientele are Varisian scoundrels or less than reputable sailors. Well, the Rusty Dragon. The Sandpoint Meat Market is not the brothel as you would expect. That is the butcher shop.
Yeah.
I kind of expected that to be the butcher shop and not the brothel, but I don't.
I think it would be hilarious if like the whatever the Pixies Playhouse was the butcher shop.
That's creepy.
Was the
That's
brothel.
really creepy.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that's creepy.
So I think maybe at the festival, like Cardi and I, like maybe the Barretts have a booth set up, and maybe Cardi and I are running it or something like that.
What are the last names?
Barrett.
Barrett. Barrett.
That's how I spelled it.
There's also Cracktooth's Tavern. A particular favorite of patrons of the Sandpoint Theater, Cracktooth's Tavern is always full after the latest show at the nearby Playhouse lets out. A large stage gives actors, singers, and anyone else the opportunity to show their stuff. Every night, a crowd of would-be entertainers packs the tap room in the hopes of being discovered. Owner Jess Cracktooth Barini might look like a thug, but he's actually quite well-read and possesses a scathing wit. Nights when he takes the stage to deliver his observations on the political situation in Magnamar are quite popular. I think he's like a stand-up comic.
It's kind of topical comedy.
Hey, y'all, you hear about this? You hear about this? Down there in Magnamar, they've decided to outlaw breathing. Hear about this?
It wouldn't surprise me.
So it's Allegaston and Mel Barrett, and what's their kid's name?
Aaron, Aeren, and Vera, which is an
little baby.
Well, a baby anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick, but I'm listening.
My badger's name is Brock.
Good.
Brock Obama.
No, just Brock.
Brock Hussein Obama.
If you translate Brock, it translates to badger.
Of course it does.
And if you translate my name, it means sympathetic craftsman.
Nice. I think I'm about ready to print a PDF. God damn. My character's like ready and shit.
So this sheet does not do a good job of keeping track of how many spells you've cast per day.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
What are you talking about? Yes, it
You
does.
have been fed.
So the way that I cast, I'm a spontaneous caster
Uh-huh.
with prepared spells. This sheet is poorly designed for that.
Well, yeah. Sorry.
You gotta get all the goodie, don't you?
You're special.
You're a keeper.
I'm weird.
You're a keeper.
Spells. Grease. Fly. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And then let's see that one. Magic missile.
Magic missile.
And then add to the fact that I can swap out my spells by spending points. That's just, this is gonna be crazy. Okay, we'll do this. And that way I can keep track. When you cast a spell in a higher level slot, what does that usually do other than increase the DC?
Oh, you'll have to look that up. I don't remember.
Okay.
You are not a starving martyr. Come here. Be kitty. Hey, kitty. Are you the kitty?
Sounds like you're smothering a child.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I knew it. All right, Doll, I put my character sheet in chat for you.
Who dat?
That would be an Andrew.
Hey guys.
Hello,
What's
hello.
up, man? Howdy doody.
Fine. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good. Learning about Sandpoint and shit.
Awesome.
Drawing a line in the sand.
Point. Nah.
Well, hey, look who it is.
Who is it?
Wait, what's your character's name?
You got a lot of nerve showing up here.
Voltace McBolterson.
Voltace McBolterson.
Bolty McBoltface.
Yeah.
John Boltman.
Still would not be the most ridiculous name.
Yeah. I know that prestidigitaris.
Well, you don't have to worry. I'm not the one that's inventing the names for this game. They're pre-invented.
Yay.
Yeah, you preed all over the place.
I don't think I'm invited to the game on Roll20.
It's pinned in the chat.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna pre.
Yeah.
Gonna pre, dude.
So, Andrew, I bought the like Roll20 pack for this, and it's got a different character sheet than we had used previously.
Yeah, it has the shitty one.
Oh, you don't like it?
I mean, it's fine. It's just not as versatile.
Well,
But it's fine.
I thought we'd try it out. If we don't like it, then I have no problems switching back to the other one.
I think it should be fine for the first few levels. So, like the first year of play.
Just 1 year?
Yeah, give or take a couple months. In theory, Zuzu should be home pretty soon.
Okay.
Can I have a character sheet?
No.
Okay.
You can play with pen and paper.
I roll lots of 20s when I don't have a character sheet.
Of course.
I'll roll 5 and pick the one I like the most.
If you want to give me character art or give me a token or something, then that would work. Up to you. We are, I think, finalizing everybody's backstories and ties to Sandpoint, giving them some relevant information on the people and places.
Yeah, I was
Man.
going to say that. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm having to look at my character sheet because I made this dude like 3 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while.
I was going to say the information that you have been dropping on us, Smitty, I feel like is what they should have put in the companion.
Yeah.
But they want to leave it for GMs to decide what they want to reveal, though.
Yeah, I get that.
But needs to be more than like
I agree. Yeah.
6 people.
Like
but-
character names would be fine. Like who does what. It's fine for us to know who the father is and shopkeepers and shit.
Yeah. And I think it's easier to pair a few people away than to introduce 90% of the possible content.
Yeah, I mean, I was telling Walker, if you guys get through even like 25% of like the available setting and characters like in this town, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton, but I kind of like that.
Yep.
Plenty in here, but I do think that they could have at least put like most of the characters in and at least given you like a few basic lines of what the deal is with them.
Yep.
Like what their basic
this is a small town, and when you live in a small town, like, it seems to encourage people to have ties to this town. You know a lot about them.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I mean, the player's guide literally says like it encourages you to have ties to Sandpoint.
Well, you know what that means. We're just allowed to bullshit things then. Just make up whatever we want.
I don't mind explaining stuff to you guys.
Story time with
The late
Dalai Lama.
unpleasantness. Mm-hmm.
That's
You
right.
guys are good.
I'm whipping out the full name.
That's what it is.
I do like that there is a bridge dedicated to me in this town. I feel
Yeah.
included.
Tanner's Bridge. Yeah.
It's a shitty one, as it should be.
Yeah.
And it's only half wood.
Might need a little work.
A common problem.
Oh, God.
I'm at half mast all the time.
I wanted to ask if I could take an alternative racial trait.
Yeah. I mean, which one is it?
Slag child.
Did you say swag child?
Yeah.
I was like, I know that's not what you said, but like now I really wish it is what you said, because that would be fucking awesome. Like, damn, that
I'm out
kid
of the
has
womb
He's
covered
just
in
doing
jade.
like dabs and shit everywhere he goes.
just moon walked out of the womb. Just fucking like, yeah. Started hitting on the nurse.
Slag child.
Let's see. Slag child.
That is a very cool piece of art.
I drew it myself.
It's beautiful. Shameful status. These dwarves are commonly banished or ostracized. They are forced to seek out a living on the fringes of dwarven settlements or in bleak wilderness. Plus, spiritual bonus on stealth and survival checks. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You're a dwarf living in a predominantly human settlement. The other dwarves that live here usually have pretty good reasons for doing so also. Like Aaron. No, not Aaron. That Battlebeard dude who's a craftsman, guilty of the nearly heretical practice of crafting out of wood instead of stone.
How dare he?
Yeah. Edric? Yeah, Edric Battlehorn. Mother, father. So,
Oh,
Andrew,
yeah.
I will also ask you, what is his name? Reinhold Landslag. What is he in Sandpoint for the Swallowtail Festival for? Is he just kind of roaming around being in exile?
Yeah, I think that he probably sort of makes his living out and around the forests and stuff in Varissia, and he probably has like a route he goes from like Magnamar up to Sandpoint down to that other place where the Crimson Throne happened.
Chiliax?
No.
Ustalav.
No. There's three big cities in Varissia. There's Magnamar. There's the Asylum Stone. Why can't I think of this fucking name?
Sandpoint.
Corvassa?
No.
Is it Corvassa?
Yes, Corvosa.
Probably, yeah, Corvosa.
Corsova? Corvosa?
Jesus.
Crevassa? Crusivib?
He goes up and down there as a gun for hire, or a crossbow for hire, as it were.
Okay.
But he's been in Sandpoint before, so he knew that this was happening. So he probably would come by to get drunk.
That is a very valid pursuit, especially since
Proper dwarven pastime.
there is some free food and drink. Lunch is provided free at the expense of Sandpoint's taverns. Each brings its best dishes. This event is as much a marketing push by the taverns to win new customers as it is feed to the hungry crowd. So that would be probably reason enough to stop by. And some early winter drop mead.
That's what I'm here for.
Or are you here for the hagfish's lobster chowder? Or the
That
white
too,
goose peppercorn
whatever.
venison? Just whatever you want.
Put it in front of me, I'll eat it.
Okay. Well, if you guys are ready,
This one is prepared and tight.
we can at least get started with a little bit of foreplay.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
quiver at your every word.
All right, I regret using that word choice.
No, you don't.
As you should.
You love it.
Maybe a little bit.
Top buttocks.
Okay. Well, as you guys arrive, you find the festival going in full swing. There's a group of people around the cathedral, but it doesn't look like the proceedings have begun in earnest, and everybody else is sort of milling around, enjoying the food and the festivities.
I see a black abyss.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I see nothing.
Well, I should probably put your characters on the map. That'd probably help
Right.
for a start. Shit.
Where do you want us? Because I could drag mine out if it'd save you time.
Why? Oh, do I not have a proper token for Carity?
You might not.
Can you see?
I cannot see. Don't know if I was able to move my other token that you had made.
Let me see. I thought I have the tokens linked. But I might have done something wrong again, because I remember having this problem last time I had to set up player tokens. Alright, can
Suzu's
any
here.
of you see anything?
That's a negative.
Damn it!
Is advanced lighting or anything like that turned on? Global
Yeah.
illumination?
They set it all up. I thought I had
Do your
tested it
tokens
with
have vision?
has sight.
And is there a light source or a global illumination turned on?
Should have global illumination. Royman, can you see anything?
Yes, he can.
Okay. He should be able to, because now he has sight.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I was asking if you can see.
I can see.
Yeah, like the whole map, basically.
Yeah, it's
I-
all it's daytime. You can see the whole thing.
Should I drag my token out then?
I've got yours out. I just have to give you sight.
Okay.
Lol.
Yay, I can see
You have
things.
6 hit points?
Ah, dude, squishy Arcanist wizard.
Jesus Christ, okay.
Yeah. Wizard's got that 1d6 hit die.
Hey, I can-
Ouch.
Well,
Hey, it used to be 1d4, so you know.
So was the idea that we are running a booth, Kosher?
yeah, if you guys want to run a booth, I think that would make a ton of sense. You should probably take like this one here. That would make a lot of sense.
Where at again? Like right here by the.
Right here?
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
There's one there.
Oh my goodness! Now I lost my character.
Okay. I do have quite a few.
There we go. There we go.
But you
There we
should
go.
only be able to
Okay.
select one.
Yeah. I thought I had gotten farther than I actually had. And I was
Yes.
like, oh shit.
Anybody in Sandpoint is here at the festival. Amiku Kaijutsu's Rusty Dragon Fair is garnering lots of attention and praise. Lanjiko Kaijutsu is casting some dark looks her way and doesn't look too happy to be there. But everybody is here. A few travelers have come in from the north. You see a burly barbarian who's just like going ham on the lunch buffet, and doesn't seem to have any social grace about it. You hear that there are some games and happenings as well. If any of you are interested in taking part of them, before the actual ceremony begins in earnest.
Maybe I still can't see anything.
Oh, damn it!
I think Vanya will look over at Cardi and say, "How is it that we always get stuck working whenever there's something interesting happening in town?"
Not really sure, but it's whatever.
I love it.
Is that what?
I'm much
That's
more
what Varisians sound like. We established that in Carrying Ground.
Of course.
I'm not sure if I would rather be making money or sampling some of Ameko's food.
Well, I won't tell if you won't tell.
Do you want me to go get you a plate?
Sure, I'll have a plate.
All right.
Blythe, can you see now?
I can finally
Okay.
see.
Okay. See, you can move your tokens. Excellent.
Man, you didn't have to spend so much time making my token.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you guys want, we'll wait some more, and I'll make some more tokens. We can keep working on that. I think it's great because now your character looks properly squat, just like a dwarf ought to.
He's Squapper.
Sure.
He's a Squapper dwarf. So Vanya will make her way over to Ameko's booth and greet her.
Sure. She looks at you,
Professionally.
and you guys know each other, right?
Yes, we're
Okay.
business partners.
Okay.
To
It's probably
extent.
about lunchtime right now, so everybody's like super digging in. And she has some remarkable curry spice salmon and early winter drop mead readily available. And when she sees you walk over, she gives you a broad, genuine smile. She says, Vanya, and she kind of reaches underneath the cart, her little table there, and pulls out like an extra large helping of the salmon and an extra large pint of mead, and slides them over to you and gives you a sly wink.
Thank you, Ameko. I don't suppose that you might have one for Cardi as well?
She says, "Oh, of course, I wouldn't forget Cardi. Cardi.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
the dwarf."
Yes, I have some difficulty with it as well.
And she
Ah.
she reaches under. She pulls out another extra large helping of the salmon and mead.
Fantastic.
And she says, "Just make sure that actually makes its way over to him, would you, or her?"
I'm sure they will get it. I I'm starting to think that maybe it was not a wise idea to set up a trinkets booth here. It seems the food has everyone's attention. We're, have to say, a little bit bored right now.
She says, smiles, and goes, "Well, I'm certain that everyone perusing the festival will be making quite a use of that alchemist's kindness tomorrow morning."
Here's hoping. I stayed up late last night making extra. Anyway, I should probably get back before they end up selling the whole booth. I'll see you later.
A tide of additional festival attendees kind of like moves up to her table, and she looks like she's pretty slammed, and she says, "All right, I'll catch up with you later. Make sure not to spend all your time working, and enjoy some of the fun and games if you can, at least." And then she's quickly submerged under a fresh tide of hungry patrons.
Ah, Vanya. Thank you kindly.
Of course. Delicacy. You don't want to drive away all the patrons.
Oh.
You have some fish in all of you. It's
What can I say? I'm a hungry dwarf.
well, every time you say it, more of the fish gets down into.
Worry not. And I snap my fingers and cast prestidigitation and clean up my beard.
The practicalities of normal magic.
Hey, it's got its uses.
It certainly seems to. Manners, they have their uses too.
See, where I come from, manners are more about how you treat people, not necessarily how you eat.
That is fair. Well, Amico
Anyways,
seems
trinkets.
certainly. Yeah.
Trinkets, anybody?
Baubles, alchemical wares.
Reinhold,
You
as
there,
you're-
young lady. You look like you could use some.
Oh, never mind.
And there she goes.
just like doesn't even like look over at you at all. Like as absolutely and utterly noticed that you were talking to her. Does not give a
Cardi,
fuck.
Wow.
Cardi
That
looks.
would be appropriate for blood.
Such realistic roleplay.
Cardi looks over at Vanya and says, "That'll be the elves for you."
It's like whenever you're in the
Suppose.
mall and someone tries to get you to buy some perfume. You just
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta do that. Keep
starting to feel
don't make eye
that,
contact. Keep moving
Yeah,
forward.
don't open the social contract.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel a bit self-conscious about,
It's got nothing to do with your face. It's probably just that everybody's interested in the food.
Oh, that is actually really good, dude.
When Landslag walks by, he looks over at this person and says, "The fuck's wrong with your feet?"
Cardi looks over at Vanya and says, "You remember the manners that we were talking about earlier? This one doesn't seem to have any. It was an accident with some polypurpose panacea. I'm sorry, but
Some what?
but polypurpose panacea. You've never had it?
He, Reinhold just sort of rubs his very short, scruffy beard and says, "I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is your face looks right fucked." And then he walks off.
Which one of us were you talking to?
Yes, is the answer. Is Reinhold chaotic evil, or is she just like whatever?
He has a
Waffle
charisma.
asshole?
It's a charisma.
8 charisma, that makes sense. Yep.
A charisma.
Right.
A single point.
Just one.
Yeah.
And then he walks over here and tries to get some booze.
Vanya definitely has her hands clenched and is sort of flushed.
Cardi like reaches over and taps Vanya on the shoulder and says, "Perhaps maybe we should close up the stand for today and try out some of the games. What do you say?"
Maybe so.
Amiko does
Sort
not
of
seem
feel
to
that-
have. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I sort of feel like maybe I should find that dwarf in an alley and blow the fuck out of him.
Zip.
Yeah.
Got some
Yeah, that
alignments
didn't come out
shifting
though.
already.
Yeah, that's yeah. How about no, I said what I said.
When you say that, Shayla's vendor behind you seems to kind of cock her head and look over and sort of like look about, and then seems to realize what you actually meant, and it sort of loses interest. Sorry. Amico does not hear the rudeness that Reinhold threw your way, and gives him a fat helping of the salmon and some excuse me, sorry, some mead and a broad smile.
Cardi looks up at Vanya and says, "Sometimes you don't need to blow somebody up to get revenge." And then Cardi will like wave his fingers at the mead that was just poured for Ragslag, or what's his name?
Reinhold Landslag.
Reinhold. And cast prestidigitation on the mead to make it taste like vomit.
Oh.
Reinhold downs the entire mug, puts it down, and says, "Your beer tastes like crap."
She frowns pretty significantly at you for saying that, but she seems like super busy. Like her hands are just flying back and forth as she's like ladling this food up. And she says, "Well, if you believe that, by all means, head to the White Deer or the Cracked Tooth Tavern instead." And kind of turns her nose up at you.
He shrugs and shoulders his very incredibly large and heavy crossbow and walks away.
Yeah. Shaylis Carity and Vanya, and perhaps Reinhold, you overhear behind you a couple of the guys, Gorvy in particular, and he's like bragging to Shaylis Vinder, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm sure I could make a bullseye a dozen times, love." And he's like trying to kind of pull her closer. He looks like he's like almost harassing her, but she's just sort of like smiling and winking, and she kind of tosses her hair back like a diva, and she's like, "Oh, I'd like to see you prove it." And he says, "Well, lead the way then." And she kind of points out toward the beach, and she says, "Well, the archery competition's right over there." And she just kind of walks past him, kind of coquettishly rolling her hips as she does so. And Gorby pretty shortly follows. And Das Corvat and Gavin Deverin just kind of raise their eyebrows at each other. And one of them says, "Well, I suppose that's one way to get people to participate in the festivities."
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt, but where did you get these NPC pictures?
Shaylis or the other ones?
This guy is the
They
king of Absalom. Why is he here?
He's undercover. Spoiler alert.
Okay.
These came from a map where somebody had put portraits up of like all the characters in Sandpoint. So I was like, well, that'd be great. I'll just crop all those out. Evidently, that shit was jacked from some other place.
Beautiful.
Okay.
This was
This guy-
before he was just a prince of Absalom.
This guy is the master of swords of the Pathfinder Society as well. I don't know.
Is he really?
Yes. And this guy is
I
the
can't
master
believe
of
they-
scrolls. So
I can't believe they just jacked character art from other shit in the same universe.
Wow.
okay. I was just making sure that wasn't actually them.
No, this is as far as you know. As far as I know, these are not those people, but maybe this is like a prequel before they become all of those things. But no, they are it was a very useful map, and it had little portraits of like all the
I'm sorry, I
all
didn't
the-
mean to call you out.
No worries, dude.
So do I know anything about the red-haired woman's name? Or not her name, but like what is her deal?
You know that she is the daughter of the guy that runs the general store.
Do I feel like I should be worried about her? Because that He seemed like he's getting a little frisky,
Give
a little
me
fresh with her. I can give you
give
local.
me some give me some local, and I'll give you the rundown. Okay,
Not a great
that's
local.
not a great roll, but it's not too hard to know that the town gossip. Gorby is a half orc whose main kind of industry is cleaning up the trash from the streets of Sandpoint that they literally
Mhm.
go throw over a cliff, Junker's Cliff.
Yep.
That's how they get rid of it because global warming. And
Mhm.
Shayless, I think with that knowledge local, you would probably know that she's considered something of a flirt.
Okay.
But I don't know that you have any more in-depth knowledge than that.
Yeah. I'm not concerned that this guy's,
He's
gonna
been
be-
reprimanded and warned to he does this to all the women. He
Oh, okay.
he drinks and then he kind of harasses them.
Oh, okay.
But he seems more like a creep than an aspiring rapist. If that makes
Okay. Yeah. That's good.
He seems like a sleazy dude who shows up at the bars and constantly makes women uncomfortable. But
Okay.
as far as you know, you've not yet sold him any chloroform, as far as I'm aware.
Probably
So that's
I mean,
probably where it is.
I'm true neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll probably look over at Cardi and say, I swear, that man is going to get a little too familiar with the wrong woman, and he's going to wind up at the bottom of those cliffs where he hunts for garbage.
Highly possible and highly arrangeable. Blythe, what are you doing? Roymond, what are you doing?
I was actually going to be approaching their little trinket thing as I'm roaming about, but I'll let Whitney answer too.
Sure.
I imagine Blythe is just kind of hunched over, sniffing all the food and pointing at it and be like, "Ooh, can I try this and get some of this? Is that okay?" And she's overly close to the food that's on the table, I imagine.
Okay. She doesn't realize, or maybe this is just she's not used to seeing a spread like this.
Yeah, she's
laid
excited and she doesn't really have much concept of manners or hygiene or.
Yeah. Amiko seems more charmed by your candor than anything else, and just kind of rolls her shoulders and shrugs. She says, "Of course, by all means, just remember the Rusty Dragon next time you're in town. We serve food like this every day." And she kind of dishes you up just a plate with a little bit of everything. And
gross. It's all touching.
Yeah, slides it to you. And she says, yeah, it's all touching. She's like, "Sorry, I had the mashed potatoes are kind of interfering with the
It's
salmon
great. It's
there."
great. And Blythe is just kind of already shoveling it into her mouth with her hands.
She's eating the plate too, just Jesus Christ. And Amiko says, kind of looks you up and down, and she says, "I don't suppose you'd be one of those rangers, would you?"
Yeah. Do you need something?
She shakes her head. She goes, "No, just if you happen to cross paths with Shalelu next time you're out there in the wilderness, give her my best."
Oh, okay, will do. How much do you need for all this?
What'd you say?
How much do you need for all this? And she
She
kind of... Go ahead.
Yeah, she shakes her head and she goes, "No, it's part of the festival. This is marketing more than anything else."
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And Blythe will kind of toss her a gold piece anyway and continue on shoveling.
She is stirring two pots with like both hands, but she still like super nimbly catches it, the gold piece, and gives you a smile, and tucks it away before like seamlessly returning. Like she's clearly like very coordinated, and
she's got a dex
tavern
score
owner.
of like 987.
Yeah, an incredibly high dex score. Her AC is 256. So, yeah.
Hey, boss.
Roymond?
Okay. So I think Roymond is actually like standing in front of your little booth here when you guys are talking about the garbage, and I think maybe you don't see him because he's so short.
You're not that much shorter than me.
I like
fair.
the idea. I like the idea that you guys built a booth so tall that Carity can't see the edge.
I was thinking like half the booth is like
I figured it was
humanoid
raised
height,
in the
and
back.
then half is dwarven.
Half is your height.
Yeah, like half is short, half is tall.
I just like the idea of a little tiny little pink flutter of hair is like the only indication there.
I guess
there is a dwarf there.
I guess I forgot that detail, but I imagine that the booth is higher in the back than the front. I don't know.
Yeah, I would think that beings of short stature are common enough that there's probably some consideration.
There's a gnome. There's
so there's probably like a
dwarves,
sloping.
There's
Okay.
there is a halfling that is helping Ameko out.
Oh, all right.
That you'd probably know.
Yeah.
At least you two would know. Bethana Corwin is this elderly halfling that helps out at the Rusty Dragon. I just don't have a token for her out.
So I imagine we have probably seen Roymond around town, given that he's a townie.
Mhm.
But we probably don't know Roymond, unless you've been in the shop before.
Doubt it. He's more
Yeah.
interested in the divine and faith stuff than
Yeah,
arcanist
yeah.
stuffs.
I don't think either of us are, but
So anyway,
yeah, I think we notice you at that point after you've been looking for a little bit and we've talked a little to each other.
How are you doing, Halfling? How can we help you today?
you didn't get all this out of the garbage, did you? Damn it! I fucked that up. That's fine.
I
Because
love
he
it.
became
That's canon
your-
now. Keep it.
Nope, I'm not. It's not happening.
No. Most of this is stuff we made in the shop.
Yes, a few trinkets and baubles, things that we are not worried about selling. These are what is the word, like a party favor or something like that. Little things like this one. You shake it up and it glows for a little bit.
All right, that seems fine. What's this over here then? And he picks up one of your little trinkets.
That one, if you wave it over your food, the food will glow. Most of these make things glow. These ones,
You just know the one trick, really? Like,
these are, but
Why exactly would one make some food glow? I don't really follow.
that's what the order was for. I don't know. People, small bits of magic. They're entertaining to children and people that don't get to see it that often.
Alright, well,
as,
sounds like it could be some fun. I'll take one.
Yes,
Sure.
fun mostly. Yeah,
as you guys are having this conversation, you see like a stranger walk by, and he's just like he's wearing some strange fashion with a suit just covered in glowing baubles. Just, like, scrolling past. Then he's going, "It's gonna be the new trend, I tell you, I'm buying all of it."
Yes, the noble peacock in his latest fashion. There are always those willing to draw attention to themselves.
I suppose that's true.
I know I've seen you around town before, but I don't think that you've ever been into our shop.
Oh, it's. I don't think I have. No.
We work for the Barretts, and we probably have there's like a little sign over the table under the awning. Barrett's
Barrett's baubles.
Barrett's baubles.
Odds and ends.
Barrett's baubles and bright shining bits.
Beats and bears.
Barrett's glowing items
Yes.
exclusively.
Yes.
Once.
I imagine we probably also have like some
Glowing little
noisemakers and other things.
Yeah. So,
It was mostly Tanner panicking,
Royman-
not thinking.
yeah,
Yeah.
Royman just is like, while you're talking to him, he seems distracted by all the little things that he's picking up. And you can kind of see like the halfling curiosity coming out as he's
Mhm.
just like gathering up random trinkets.
Yes, if you put that one up to your lips and blow, it makes the sound that a goose makes.
Does it glow too?
He looks like really kind of excited. He tries it out.
Oh, oh!
You blow into it, and it just goes.
I don't think
We're
that
still
one-
working on it.
Hardly, I said it was supposed to
think-
be a goose.
I think this one might be broken.
Oh darn. I'm sorry.
You want?
Uh,
you know,
I
I'll
think
just-
it's funnier
I'll-
though.
You know, I don't disagree. I don't know why I keep changing accents, but it's fine.
You know, it's
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 okay.
part of
It's
your
your
own shop
part of your cover.
demonstration.
It's your long con.
I'm still trying to figure this shit out. Yeah. So he gathers up some stuff, and after just some pleasantries, I think he'll just say, "All right, well, I'll probably need to be by the shop sometime to pick up some more things. This
Yes, we have
this seems
a
pretty
variety of things from all over Varesia. They're items of much greater impressiveness than we are able to just hand out. Yeah, please stop by. What was your name again?
name's Roymond.
Well,
call me
pleasure to
Roy
meet
nice
if you
to
like.
meet you, Roymond. My name is Vanya.
I'm Cardi.
Good to meet you. Vanya and Cardi, was it?
Close enough.
Cardi? Cardi?
Cardi?
Well,
Corduroy.
I best be going to check out the rest of the festival, but you know, I might have some pranks I'd like to do later. If you want to help me out with that, that would be very useful for me.
Ah, yes, civil disturbances. Those are good for business.
He winks and hobbles off with his little sack of trinkets, and you do notice that he has a bit of a strange gait.
Okay.
Bit of a lame gait, but extremely fleet of foot in his lameness. As you guys are kind of milling about, you notice I think Reinhold, notices a sign for an archery contest. Probably says the Devil Hunt. One of you notices a sign for you can't drink the hagfish water, although I don't know that you necessarily know exactly what that means. But prizes are promised for these competitions, and there appears to be an amateur jousting competition set up as well as a game called Top of the Lighthouse.
That's a sex thing, isn't it?
All of which are
Yeah,
offering
that's-
prizes.
That's
Yeah.
just anal.
That's
yeah.
definitely a sex thing.
Yeah, and it's just there's just a dwarf standing next to it with like making a circle with one hand and poking his finger through the other, winking.
Reinhold will stomp his way over to the archery contest.
Okay.
Cardi will look at Vanya and say, "Doesn't look like we're getting much business. I really want to try this hagfish game. What do you say?"
I don't suppose these things are all free to give away anyway. I'm not sure why they even sent us here to watch it. I have to be honest. I'm this pleasant face, all this niceness I'm having to do with people. It's really wearing on me.
You're doing fine. I mean, it takes a little bit of practice, but you'll
You're
get
much
there.
better at the business side of things than I am.
I mean, I've been dealing with people since I was a wee child. You've got some practice yet to do.
The Barretts had actually even tasked you guys with like putting individual price tags on every single item, but all of them are $0. It's just it's all free, but you still had to do it. Reinhold, when you follow the direction that the sign was pointing, and it points toward the beach nearby, where I guess I got to actually drag you out here. Reinhold. Oh shit! I didn't link your new token with you.
It's okay.
You know what? Yeah, it's just gonna be how it is. It's squat Reinhold. And you notice an archery setup down by the beach, and Gorvy and Shayless Vinder kind of standing nearby as he seems to be approaching and trying to line up some shots rather inexpertly, in your opinion.
I'll stump up and say, "So, what's the price for this, huh?"
As you say that, Shayless kind of like steps aside and gives you a pretty candid look up and down, and you can give me a sense motive if you'd like. The man next to her, the man next to her looks over at you and he says, welcome to the festival. I don't suppose you want to try your hand at hunting the Sandpoint Devil, would you? I think you think maybe she's checking you out, or she just thinks like you're short and she hasn't seen many dwarves before. She also thinks that like you look better if you had a better token.
I mean, I have to agree with her on that one. He says, "Yeah, I couldn't help it. What can I say? I really was in a hurry."
You hear a thrum of a bowstring, and Gorvy's shot just sort of like arcs off and like ricochets off some of the rocks over here. Can you guys can't see this, can you?
I can.
I can. Can you shift ping us over there though?
Yes.
He says,
baller.
That's where it is.
Reinhold will say, "When you say hunt the Sandpoint Devil, you mean shoot that butt over there, yeah?"
The man kind of running this thing looks over at you and he says, he seems to be like way over committing to like the RP of this moment, and he's like, by the gods, I swear there is a devil out there on them their shores. And he points out toward the targets where you can see like there are like some really shitty like winged demon paintings on the targets.
These are like spoopy Halloween carnival looking things.
Yeah, like
demons.
really not good, and not like real demons. But he seems like super into it. He's like, prizes for winning. If you can slay the demon and save Sandpoint from the Sandpoint Devil. And you can see that there appear to be like some pies in the wings, and there's like a little sign that promises 10 gold for anybody who's able to actually like hit two. Let's see, what is the actual rules here? I think you have to hit the bullseye twice.
All right. 10 gold then if I shoot the target.
That's it, but you've only got 2 shots. Let's see. I'm sure I got this completely right. Yeah. He's like indicates the longbows that are on the ground. I guess I don't know how you are going to handle it, considering you've got a massive ass crossbow.
I'll put the crossbow down. This isn't for shooting targets.
Okay.
Blow the target.
He'll very carefully put the crossbow down and say, "If anyone touches that, I'll have their hand."
Okay. Gorby kind of looked like he was thinking about it.
I am also carrying a very large dwarven axe that I pat when I say this.
Okay. Yeah, he looks like some of the bully's spirit sort of like dries up within him, and he seems to become a lot more sober pretty fucking quickly.
Which one is he? He's this guy?
Gorvy is that guy, yeah, and he kind of steps aside.
Who's this dude?
That is Ven Vinder. He is, I don't guess you really know who he is.
I mean, I've been through town,
Yeah.
a few times,
Oh,
but I
okay.
might.
So he owns the general store. So
Okay.
you probably have bought
Well,
shit.
Shayless is dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a human?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll sort of just nod to him very curtly, and then take one of these bows and say, "That one over there. Then where do I stand?"
And he kind of points down at the line like around here, and he says, "Just stay behind there and give it your best shot."
All right, here's one. Fuck.
Okay. You draw back the bowstring, but you're used to like way more power out of a projectile weapon, and it falls up like 3/4 of the way short and buries itself in the sand. And Ven Vinder looked like he was about to cheer, and then he just kind of goes, "Oh, well, you've still got one more shot. I'm sure you can save us from the Sandpoint Devil." And Shayless just kind of like rolls her eyes behind him, like, "Oh my god."
Reinhold will take the next arrow and sort of suck on his teeth, like thinking like, and then take aim and fire.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, the second shot, you got dialed in, and it just like hits smack dab right in the center of the target. And Ven Vinder just like throws his hands up, and he's like, amazing, outstanding, the great. And then he turns to you and he goes, "What is your name again?"
It's Reinhold, and I'll put the bow back and go and get my cross.
The great Reinhold killed the Sandpoint, and he's like doing a performance for people that are like not even really there or give a fuck. As you're walking back, you notice that Shayless is like making some pretty serious eyes at you, over her father's shoulder, and gives you a wink. I think you could nat one a sense motive and still get what she's getting at.
What was? I don't understand. What is she getting at? She got something in her eye.
Yeah, you think she's got something in her eye, and also that she's sexually attracted to prowess.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So
Reinhold will nod to the guy. It's not a bad bow. Not for me though. And then I'll look over at the lady and say, "I'm gonna go and have a drink with me."
When you say that, Ven looks at you much more sternly, and Shayless, her eyes kind of go wide, and she does like the kind of like cut off motion, like over her throat.
Ixnay.
Yeah. And Ven kind of looks at you and he goes, "What did you just say?"
I asked the lass here if she wanted a drink. Why?
And he said he seems to start getting kind of red in the face pretty quickly. And Shayless kind of like does the cutoff motion even more quickly, and then maybe realizes that she's not getting through. And he says he kind of, I think, looks you up and down, realizes the situation, and kind of grabs her by the elbow and like pulls her back. And he says, "The young lady will be getting no drinks of any kind today."
He sucks on his teeth again, like, how old is she? She old enough to make her own decisions? It's so hard for me to tell with you humans.
Ven, oh man, okay. I think he's gonna throw you as much courage as he can, and he's gonna say, "My daughter is of age when I say she's of age, and she's certainly of no age to be entertaining any gentlemen callers."
Sounds like you're just a prick.
Okay, all right, hold on. I gotta like make sure I'm right about this, but because I'm pretty sure. All right, let's see here. I didn't think we were going to get to this part of the adventure this fast.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, it is what it is. That's cool.
We go through content fist first.
I can see that. I mean, it's fine. Fuck, I can't find his bit, but I know he's in here. He looks at you, and he looks like he is kind of screwing himself up with courage, and he fails pretty badly. And he kind of backs down, and sort of like blushing red says, "Why don't you make sure you don't come across me or my daughter ever again?" And he kind of grabs Shayless. He says, "Come on, girl," and pretty quickly kind of like pulls her away back toward the festival. But as he's dragging her away, she looks over her shoulder and gives you like a little wave and then like a call me sign.
I'll put her phone in. I'll put her number in my phone.
Yeah. She mouths the name of their general store, which I guess you actually already know since you've been here before.
I'll just re-shoulder my crossbow and say, guess it wasn't pretty.
The lady that's standing there, her and Gorby just kind of look over to you, and without a word, she just kind of holds out the 10 gold pieces that you won from the contest.
I thought I had to shoot it twice. I only hit it once.
You had to hit it. You get 2 shots, but you had to hit it.
Oh.
You had to beat the DC.
But I only had to hit it once. You mean?
You only had to hit it once. You have 2 shots to hit it.
2 chances to make it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Reinhold wouldn't take money that he didn't fairly win. So.
Oh, okay.
But if he legitimately won it,
yeah,
he will
no,
take it and say thank you.
Yeah, you legitimately won.
Okay. And he says,
you fucked up with your first. She kind of nods and holds out a pie. She looks a little intimidated by what just happened, by watching you just like stare down Van Vinder, and then and kind of cow him.
Sure. As he takes it, he says, "That fella, that Van, he always treat his girl like that."
She looks at you and she goes, "Well, between you and I, Shayless has a bit of a reputation. Old Ven, I think, doesn't quite realize he's not exactly preserving her virtue. Perhaps not really realizing that ship has sailed. If you know what I mean."
It's not really his virtue to protect in any case, is it?
Well, try telling him that.
I will look back over the hill where they went and say, might do that. And then walk up.
All right, so we had the hagfish. You guys were interested in that?
I think Cardi and I are we're gonna play hooky from the booth for a little bit.
Yeah, Cardi makes a sign that says, please take one.
Yeah.
Please take one.
Take one or whatever.
Yeah. You wrote it in Thessalonian so nobody can read it.
I speak a lot of languages, including Common. Thank you very much.
Between the two of us, we write it in like 12 languages.
Yeah. All right, let me
Common. You forgot Common.
Everything except for Common.
Everything except Common.
Yeah.
They just didn't. None of them ever thought to put it. They figured the other one would have.
Mm-hmm.
Let me actually get these tokens properly kitted right, and then we'll do the hagfish thing, because this is starting to tick me off. Where is...
Blythe will also be checking out the hagfish, but more the hagfish contest or whatever, but more to see if they're actual hagfish.
Okay. You will indeed find that there are. Oh man, roll 20 is dragon ass. I might just see.
the pre-purchased adventures tend to have a lot of data.
Yeah, I'm starting to think maybe maybe I need to see if there's like some way of like smoothing it out.
It's working fine for me right now. So
Reinhold. All right. Reinhold, you ought to have token down here now as well. Your character doesn't have to be there, but I just want to like see if you can actually like see him.
Yep.
Let's get Carady. Carady.
you
So
David
could,
Carrot.
it's
You could make it-
Car Day.
you could make it a soft C if you want.
Cardei.
Then she'd be Sierra Die.
Car Day.
Carady. I think I'll just go with Carady.
That's close.
I like mispronouncing it, I think, more than I like
Aye.
getting it right.
I can tell.
Detected that.
It's a pretty solid sense motive.
I don't think
You
the
need to roll
DC
it.
was very high. Alright. Carady, bye. Alright. Open your character sheet.
Yay! I can
So-
move the thing.
I think that
Reinhold.
Royman would probably follow you guys, actually. I think maybe he's wandering off with his trinkets and he sees you guys, like, hang signs and leave.
Just completely like walk away.
So he's
You might
curious.
want to at least check out the other things that are going on as well.
Alright, yeah.
But it's up to you. I'm not gonna.
Remind me what else is happening?
So there's the archery competition, which we sort of covered. I think that is now ruined for the proprietor is too flustered to maintain it.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. There is the lighthouse, top of the lighthouse game, and there is the amateur jousting competition, and there is the Hagfish Challenge, which some
Okay.
of you may know is one that is open. Like I think it's like free dinner or like a free room and board for an evening if you can beat the challenge. As you guys arrive here, this is just like a little ways down the street. All right, Vanya and Carity are there. Royman, you can drag your dude out, right?
I'm huge.
Oh God!
Fucking massive.
El Gordo.
Giant
Massive halfling.
halfling.
Okay.
A reverse halfling.
He's a massling.
Yeah. All right. So
Should I
you guys,
Drag out mine? Not dragging that one.
you can drag yours out, right?
I don't know. I was.
If you get there,
Works.
if that's where you're going, you by all means. So you guys see Yargi Quinn or Jargi Quinn, who's the owner of the Hagfish, which is a tavern in town. And you can see that like some of these guys have put some money into the pot, and one of them is like heaving his guts up, and Lanjiku Kaijitsu is just kind of looking and stroking his beard and shaking his head. And Yargi is saying, step right up. Anybody ever drink the hagfish water? You've got to be a real man to drink the hagfish water.
A real man.
What's that?
A real man, he says. I look over at my dwarven friend, who I imagine I know to have a pretty stout constitution,
Yeah,
though not necessarily in a meta sense.
yeah.
I look up at Vanya and say, well, he says man, but I think it means it in a human sense. And little does he know that dwarves can drink a lot. And I walk up to him.
No
Well-
one knows that about dwarves.
Yeah. He looks at you, and he says, "Oh, we've got another challenger. Are you man enough to drink the hagfish water?"
I'm definitely dwarf on it. Give it here.
So he kind of gestures next to him, and you can see that he has brought out the tank that usually resides in the hagfish. And there is something kind of coiling around in this like dirty, musky tank. And he kind of dips his this flask into it and pulls it out, and kind of like shakes it at you in a challenging way. And if you look more closely at it, you can actually see a creature writhing around inside the waters of this tank. And he says, "Not too many can drink Nora's water. Not too many." And he holds it out to you challengingly.
I take it. I take it and swig it back without even looking at it. Just.
Okay, you guys can see this, right?
Yes.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We see Nora.
Roymond is horrified.
Yeah,
For
probably.
sure.
The horrific fucking hagfish.
Okay. Roll me a fort save, Carity.
Okay.
Vanya makes a. Go ahead.
I'm just looking for it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say Vanya makes a brief aside to Lanjiku Kaijutsu and says, "Mr. Kaijutsu, please don't judge my establishment based on what you might see after see." Oh, nope, she's going for it.
Does it count as a poison?
Don't think it counts as a poison. It's just really disgusting water.
Okay. Because like dwarves have hardy,
full
so
of
it's +2
slime.
for it saves, +2 on their saves against poison. So
It's like you're drinking a mug of cum.
didn't matter.
Let's
Nice.
see. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
Hey,
All right.
that's
Hold
horrifying.
the glass for some more.
You polish that shit off, and Lanjiko Kaijitsu like takes a step back from you with narrowed eyes and kind of shaking his head like you disgust him as you drink like several swigs of it, and Yargi goes, "My goodness, man, I've never seen anyone drink like that." And I think he watches as you like completely tip the vial completely upside down and kind of like lift it away from your mouth, shaking out the last few drops.
Not just a sip. I'm like whole ham on it.
Yeah.
And I look up at him and say, never challenge a dwarf with a drinking competition. You'll lose every time.
Even Yargi Quinn looks a little green around the gills as you like slam that back, and he's like, "I can see you've got a point there." And he says, "Well, I must say I'm a bit at a loss, but I suppose you win the pot." And he kind of gestures to this like pot of money that has been evidently gathering over several challengers trying their best, and hands it to you, and you get 10 gold as well for nailing that and not vomiting the hagfish water all over the place. And he kind of go ahead.
I was gonna say, Cardi, your gastronomic exploits continue to amaze and disgust me at the same time. Well done.
Gastronomic exploits.
Mm-hmm.
Never quite heard it said like that, but I appreciate the compliment.
Sure, it definitely compliment. Yeah. Vanya's looking at you like, "Oh my god, like, are you fucking serious?"
Cardi just assumes that Vanya is being as nice as Cardi would be. So like
Yeah.
everything Vanya says is just like a nice thing.
Have you started like questioning your friendship to this this
Not
creature
friendship.
yet?
It's just new shades in the rainbow.
Yeah, I think he's finding some new ones. You guys can see a little paddock of ponies from the local stable master kind of milling around, and there's some gentlemen up this way who look like they're arguing about who should be first to joust the next challenger. if indeed any wants to volunteer. And then up the road a piece, out a bit further down Junker's Way, like toward the Old Light. There are a few people kind of milling around. I'm not sure you could really see what they're doing that far away, but you gather that is where the top of the tower game is being held. Or there's always the rest of the festival to get back to.
I'm not sure that I'm up for riding horse now, but maybe we should go look at this top of the tower. Might be low impact.
I'll follow you. Do you think they'll have anything to drink?
I'm not sure I want to be seen in public with you anymore.
Oh, Vanya, it's all right. And Cardi pulls out a flask and takes a swig, and then puts it back.
Is it the same water? Like,
No.
you get another dose?
It's not the hagfish water. It's just mead.
But it's the
Vanya
same.
turns around and he's just carrying the entire
You've got the tank.
aquarium container.
The tank
just
on my
like-
back.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
like a
have
hydration
Nora-
pack.
tilting
have
it up
Nora
and
by
like
the
drinking
throat.
out of it. Yeah.
You have Nora by the throat and you're just milking her.
You're
Oh,
supposed to
God.
swallow the worm at the end.
Ew. Ew.
So I think we'll eventually make our way up to the lighthouse game.
Sure. Let's see here. Disgusting. Devil
Cardi B.
Hunt.
Throating. Oh boy.
All right, as you get up there, you see I wanted to call him
I think
Aberdale.
Roymond at this point is just absolutely fascinated at this pink-haired dwarf who can apparently drink just disgusting things.
Yeah.
And he's also wondering if they cheated. So he's, I think he's in hot pursuit as good as he can as a
Yeah.
halfling who can only move 20 feet.
I mean, it does make sense that you would be interested since, like, these two, like, Vanya and Carity look like the video game characters that you create when you're just, like, fucking around, like,
Yep.
Monster Factory style, and then you just, like, put them in the center of, like, a medieval town. Like, when you're stretching the bounds of what the character creation tools can actually do.
Yeah. Actually,
Right.
I think he'll hobble after him and he'll go, "Oi! Oi, you!"
Yeah. Ah, Roymond. Good to see you over here. Are you interested in the top of the tower game?
Yeah, did you... I saw what you did back there. Did you cheat?
Did he just accuse? Now I'm stealing your accent. Did you accuse me of cheating? I'm a dwarf. I just drink things. And I chug another bit of ale out of my flask.
So that was all you then?
Yes, painfully
Aye.
all party.
Just wait till you hear how I got this
He's
pink hair.
completely like flabbergasted.
Yeah, probably.
Right then, up to the tower, yeah?
Yes. There,
Aye.
there was one time at Amico's that Cardi drank an entire barrel of ale and then started chewing on the lid. There's
And you're friends with this one?
I'm right here. I can hear you.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not quite sure what pronoun to use with you.
Any pronoun you like.
Right. He just keeps walking.
I like how he's like ambigendered. He's just like whatever, anything, any and all things are correct. Vanya and Carity, as you arrive toward the lighthouse, you see Astric Battlehorn, who you probably have crossed paths with here and there. He's a good-natured guy, and he's leaning over, and Amel and Aaron Barrett are here already, and Astric is helping
fuck.
helping Aaron line light up a shot. I just realized that is your boss, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Ace Rick is leaning over and he goes, "All right, lad, a little to the left there. Now wind it back nice and soft. And when you pull, make sure you pull the trigger fast so you don't screw up the trajectory." And Aaron kind of lines it up. He's got his tongue like sticking out of it between his lips, and he goes, "Right now," and he yanks it, and the rock goes like flying over it and hits a pyramid of stones up at the edge of the lighthouse, and it knocks all 6 of them over, and he kind of throws his arms up triumphantly, and Ace Rick claps, and he goes, "All right, lad, take one of the little ones there." And Amel Barrett looks, yeah, kind of like turns around, he cheers and like smiles at you guys, and he goes, Did you see, Vanya? Did you see, Carity? I won. Carity, did you see?"
I love it.
Vanya will say, "Yes, I saw."
Excellent shot.
Won't look at the boy.
What good aim you got? Cardi goes up to him and just like gives him like almost a nuggie.
Okay.
Because like I'd imagine that, I mean, he's like just a little kid, so he's.
I think you have to like reach up to give him a noogie almost. But
yeah,
sure.
I reach up to grab his head and like pull it down so I can give him a nuggie.
Yeah. And
That's my boy.
Ace Rick just kind of claps, and Aaron runs over and like grabs what looks to be. So they're aiming what looks like a small catapult, and over to the left here are kind of a stack of even smaller like little toy catapults that look like they're more or less like slingshots, basically. And Ace Rick Battlehorn just kind of like laughs jovially, and Amel kind of leans into you, Vanya and Carity, and says, I thought my husband left you all in charge of the stand."
Roymond laughs.
Well, we left a sign, and all the items were to be given away.
I can't get over the token art for Carity, because he just looks like it's like dead face staring forward. Like full pink hair.
Just very deadpan, yeah.
Like
Yep.
It's like extremely deadpan, and it just looks like he's just like unwilling to be in the situation that he's in.
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Vanya will say, and all the items were to be given away anyway, so we thought we might have a look around.
Amel kind of like rings her fingers as she watches Aaron Barrett like fiddling around with the catapult, and she kind of chews her lip a little, and she goes, "I guess I've got more to worry about." And she looks over at you and she says, I think I can afford not to tell my husband about this, especially if you can come up with some sort of toy to keep Aaron distracted from that weapon he's just won himself.
Well,
I think I can pick something up for you. And Cardi goes and grabs some. Is there like a tree or sticks nearby that I can go?
I don't think she meant like immediately, but
Oh, gotcha.
but sure, yeah, there are some trees and stuff. But if you wanted to do that, she probably meant like eventually.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Ace
there's
Rick.
something we can come up with.
Sorry, what was that, Tanner?
I said, Vanya, looking over at the boy and then looking away quickly, says, I'm sure there's something that we could come up with.
Aye. Preferably something that doesn't explode.
Vanya will give you a very serious look.
Cardi,
Mel Barrett like stops and goes like, "What?"
Cardi gives looks up at Vanya and gives like finger guns and a big wink.
Vanya is not pleased.
He goes,
Cardi
What?
breaks
strange
down.
business
You-
partner.
You'd give a bomb to a child?
Oh no. Never the sword.
Right.
I'll likely just craft up a toy later today, and something that he can play with, maybe a noisemaker or something. We'll see.
Astric finishes loading another like basically like a brick into this like catapult, and he turns around and he goes, "All right, who's next? Who's next?"
Oh,
Uh,
I'll give it a whirl. And Blythe will kind of like raise her hand.
Yeah, and he gestures you over happily. He says, "All right, step up, lady, step up, lass." And he says, "Now, this is not like a normal catapult. I don't suppose you've got too much experience with those sorts of things, anyway,
Not
unless I'm much
exactly.
mistaken."
Hold on,
Go on.
I simply must protest to the lack of character voice.
I'm sorry, I have not developed a character voice.
That's
I
fine.
will work on it.
I mean, I'm okay with it. I must say, you sound just like a sorceress that came through these parts quite a while back.
I don't know how to take that. Thank you.
I don't suppose you've got a sister or some sort of human cousin.
No, my family are all half elves.
All right, so and he kind of gestures to the catapult and points it out to you how it basically works. So how this game works is that let's see. So you need to knock down all the stones, and it's possible to get to knock down more stones. The more accurate your shot is.
Okay.
You get 3 shots, but unless you have proficiency with siege weapons, you will be taking a -4 penalty to your ranged attack roll.
Yeah, no, that wasn't something I picked up on.
Yeah, I don't think
unfortunately.
any level 1 characters have that, but that's how it works.
Okay.
So if you want to describe how you you approach this thing, Astric had been held earlier.
Sorry, you
I
cut out a little
suppose-
bit.
Oh, I said Astric had been helping Aaron Barrett out a little earlier, aiming it and kind of getting things set right. I suppose it's up to you if you want to try to finagle a couple hints out of the dwarf.
Okay, so I just how do I position this? I've never used the catapult before exactly.
Yeah, I imagine that you just like turn around and you're like aiming it willy nilly, like somebody holding a gun with the safety off, and he's just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, all right, just keep it aimed that way for starters. Keep it aimed that way,
Okay.
away
Okay.
from people and eyes and children and the like.
And also
And-
halflings.
Well, agree to disagree. Keep it aimed over there to the pyramid, and he kind of leans over and I give you diplomacy if you want to get like really good
Okay.
help.
As Astric says the comment about halflings, Cardi looks down at Roymond and says, "Just stand behind me, little one. You'll be fine."
Wait, are you actually taller than me?
I am actually taller than you.
Like a foot.
Oh
I'm
wow.
a foot taller than you.
Dwarves are like 4 feet.
I'm 4'2", and you're 3'1". So
Oh, okay.
Vanya is going to go up and because she's thinking these might make like cool little toys or like the principles involved might make an interesting device. Can I use like appraise to get an idea of like how much like would be involved in constructing something like this?
Absolutely, yeah. You could use appraise. You could probably use engineering or craft.
Unfortunately, I don't have engineering.
okay.
But,
I think with a 23 appraise, it's going to be good enough to look at this thing and know that this is like masterwork level crafting for like it's like a perfect miniature catapult that like functions properly and works. So you probably think it's the actual catapult itself is probably worth like 500 gold or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Something along those lines. Aesric says, all right, lass, be careful. And he gives you a few kind of quick like little pointers, but nothing nothing more than the basics really about
Okay.
how to function it. I don't think he's already friendly.
Right.
But
Well, Blythe will kind of finagle the catapult around and then kind of pause, realize she has no idea what she's doing, and just wing it and launch the thing.
okay, she just like lifts it up and throws it. The whole
Like
thing.
that.
Yeet.
Yeah. Yeet.
She just wings it and launches it however it was arranged.
Okay. So roll a ranged attack with a -4. For your lack of efficiency.
Right. How would I do that? Would that be like I
It'd
don't
be
know how to
just with your
just
dex,
Dex?
I think.
Yeah,
that'd
so
be
it
1d20
should
plus your
be
dex mod.
let me see. So if you go to ranged on your character sheet, the total is 2. Suppose that is for
Oh, there it is. Okay, now
Yeah,
I
you
see
can
it.
put a -4 in that temp box, and then click the range button, and it'll roll it.
Okay, I
So
was
would the
looking for
2
the right
be-
attack and I couldn't find it. I found it now.
I guess the 2 is 1 for Bab and 1 for Dex. For
I don't
ranged
think she has Bab yet.
A ranger
you would have
should.
1.
Yeah, I
Oh.
have 1.
You'd have 1. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
that's
would
how it
be
gets
Bab
2.
and Dex.
Yeah. So then you just roll that with the -4.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Okay. You wind it all the way back, but you're still like standing over it when you like
Oh, no.
stomp
God.
on the lever. And it the brick goes like, and you hear Aesric go, "Watch out! Don't pull that!" And it just goes like whistling right past your ear and like barely misses, like giving you a massive uppercut to the chin. But otherwise, it just like shoots a brick like straight up in the air. And as you're like looking around, like, did I get it? Did I get it? He like yanks you out of the way as the brick comes crashing right back down where you were standing. He goes, "Well, that's one shot."
Blythe just bursts into laughter. He's like, oh goodness, beginner's luck. I didn't get hit, right?
Yeah. Give me another diplomacy with a +2 circumstance bonus for laughing in the face of danger, which I think is Aesric would find pretty charming. Not charming enough, unfortunately. Boy, your rolls are just not.
She's
you have
not a
you have a
charismatic
-2.
character.
Yeah, very low charisma.
You didn't add to that though. It should be an 8, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it wouldn't make a difference, but
8's still bad.
yeah.
Oh
Aesric.
yeah, I added 2 and it didn't include it.
Yeah. Aesric kind of shakes his head and kind of smirking and goes, "Well, I suppose you can't do any worse than that. Go ahead and take your next 2 shots. Hopefully, you never know, you could get lucky."
Okay, Blythe will shift it around again, trying to aim, kind of, and then make sure she's out of the way before firing.
Okay. Oof. All right.
Are they entirely sure they're facing the right way? The shots
Yeah.
seem to be landing behind the catapult.
You crank the catapult back, wind it, aim it super carefully this time, and you even stop to like lick your finger and hold it up to like gauge the wind. Aim everything perfectly carefully and pull the crank, and the arm shoots forward, and then you realize you didn't actually load a shot. So nothing happens, and he goes,
Oh, does that count?
"I think that, I suppose that is gonna count. Let's just see. Who
Well,
knows?
I mean, yeah, I've got
You've
one
got
more
one
shot.
more
I'll
shot.
try.
Perhaps you'll get extremely lucky. Who knows? At flying pigs and the like.
Yeah, it'll be
I
great.
can see that ranged weapons aren't exactly your cup of tea.
Yeah, not really. And she'll kind of
Aren't exactly your
gesture
cup
to
of
her.
ale. I'm sorry. I'm sure a
to
dwarf
her-
would never say cup of tea. They'd say cup of ale for sure.
That
Can't
is
get
racist.
worse, right?
Oh,
All right.
she's showing some improvement, but
Yeah. Yeah. You this time you load one but you cock it so far back that like it shoots past and hits the actual lighthouse behind the little stone pyramid. And Astric kind of pats your shoulder and he says, you know, everything's not for everybody. Everybody's got their strengths and their weaknesses, and hey, at least now you know what one of your strengths isn't. So
Yeah,
in a
you
way,
learned something.
it's even better. And he gives you a warm smile and kind of nods. I think that's it. And I guess he looks and goes, anyone else want to try their hand or
Yeah, teach me how it should be done.
I'll give a go. Yeah.
by all
Sorry,
Hi,
means,
Raven.
by all means.
I have food in my mouth. That didn't go very well.
Still got some of that salmon in there from the Rusty Dragon, I see.
yes,
Oh, it
I'm
was
glad
so
he didn't.
good.
I'm good. It's good to see he didn't pick it out of Cardi's beard, and that's her salmon. They'll keep that in there for some time.
Okay.
Gross.
Cardi looks at
Disgusting.
Vanya and whispers, "Do I still have some salmon in my beard?"
There's more
I thought-
salmon than beard at this point.
She's
you guys
like,
hear some.
I think
some
Cardi's like
whispering.
excited because he wants to eat the leftover salmon.
Yeah. Blythe, as you're kind of like standing back, Aaron Barrett walks up and holds up the little toy catapult that he'd won, and he says, "I know you didn't win, but you can have mine if you want, or maybe we can share." And then he stares at you as you just give him a dead-eyed look.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All of us look at him like,
Yeah. And he goes, or maybe not. Maybe I can just go fuck myself.
Oh, Aaron, don't be saying that. She's probably not just
Someone
used to
needs
the
to
manling
look-
childs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally missed that he was talking to me.
Yeah, he
Blythe,
was.
sorry. I
I mean,
missed that
this is
completely.
way funnier than if you had responded appropriately. Just like fucking staring at this
Oh.
kid.
Oh, you were talking to me. Oh, I'd love some. That's so sweet of you.
Sure. And he gives you the little toy catapult that he won, and he says, "Sure, we can share. You can have it and play with it for now, and maybe I'll get it back from you later on."
Oh, you can keep it from now. I can get it from you later. You just got it. You haven't had time.
Okay, and he says, smiling, and then he watches Raymond as he winds up the larger small catapult.
How tall is this thing, by the way?
You tall.
That's what I thought.
Actually, for you, it's probably almost a real catapult.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
it's an actual
Yeah.
master-crafted halfling catapult.
Yeah.
It is a small
Well,
creature catapult.
There are actual halfling catapults, but not for halflings to use.
Yes, normally the halfling gets in the basket. It is-
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. All right. So, Roymond, I think you learned a lot from watching Blythe fail several times. Okay, yeah, actually, you wind it up, take a look, and you actually, you know what? I think you kind of walk up and you're like fiddling with it, trying to like load it and get it aimed and figure out how the mechanism works, and you accidentally trip it, but it shoots and like perfectly hits down the middle and like scatters all 6 pieces.
That does sound like halfling luck.
Down, and I think your halfling luck has come into play. Yeah, and you blow him away, and Aesric goes, "Oh, well, I thought I was just surprised before, but now I really am." And he kind of extends his arm, and he goes, by all means, son, go ahead and get your prize. And he indicates one of the other little toy catapults.
Oh, well, very good then. Like, Royman doesn't seem like
Well
he
done,
is
well
like
done.
aware that it fired.
Yeah.
Cardi starts clapping really happily for Roymond and says, "Well done, Roymond. Well done."
And he takes one of your trinkets and makes the catapult glow.
Of course he does. You're a natural shot if ever I've seen one.
Royman's
There's-
just like beaming.
Yeah.
He loves approval and recognition.
I
Wow,
think,
nice job. And Blythe will just kind of shoot out a thumbs up.
I suppose
So that counts as a master crafted slingshot.
Oh, okay.
For whatever purpose you may or may not want to put that.
I'll probably still use my sling staff because it's fucking cool.
Makes a lot more sense. But hey, could always sell it, I guess.
It's worth
Pretty
more
good.
now because it's glowing.
Well,
Not exactly.
It's the next
Yeah.
big thing. A guy on the
at-
street
at-
told me that.
yeah. As you say that, one of the bushes parts nearby, and the guy wearing the glowing suit sticks his head out. And he goes, "Now you're talking. Everything's worth more when it's glowing."
Yeah, do you want to buy this?
Nope. Spend all my money on these glowing balls. And drops.
Yeah, you need a
hides-
glowing catapult to launch your glowing balls with.
Yeah. Okay. It's almost 1 a.m. here.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I don't know where you guys are, but we definitely will not continue with the adventure proper tonight. But if
Yeah.
anybody wants to try the jousting game, you're free to. Or we can wind it in. I don't want to keep anybody up past their bedtime.
I'm good for a little bit longer, but I do feel the jet lag creeping up.
Okay.
Cardi looks at Vanya and the elf and says, "Vanya, did you want to give it a try, or
I
should we give it?"
suppose. I came all the way out here. Might as well. This isn't quite as demanding or disgusting.
I think Roymond feels obligated to try to help. So he's I think he's gonna like approach but kind of gauge the guy's reaction who's running things, who I forgot his name.
Astric Battlehorn.
Okay,
Can you
Roymond
not
forgot
see
his
the
name.
nameplate?
No, I
No.
sure can't.
Okay, it's just for me then. All right, that works for me.
So yeah, I think just
yes.
Roymond forgets his name. But Roymond will kind of like look at him to kind of gauge his reaction as he approaches, and he's going to just kind of like point at a few things and be like,
Yeah, Astric is not gonna.
he's not having it.
He's
Alright.
he's a bro. He's
Oh.
cool, dude. He doesn't mind at all.
Okay.
He's just like smiling happily, as you give Vanya a couple pointers.
All right. So
Um,
I wound this thing back before I shot it, and I kind of a little off to the left there because of the wind. But yeah. So he's like aiding another on this
Okay.
basically.
I think considering that you don't actually have the knowledge required to,
Oh, can I not just roll an attack roll? Oh yeah, you're right.
I think that you could aid another still.
Okay. What would
But
I roll?
it would just be like I'm gonna give it like a +2.
Just D20 up and down.
Yeah, do a D20 up and down. I'm fine with that. To see if your assistance.
Hey, so 10. I made it.
Okay. You are assisted, Vanya.
And you
Is
get-
that a
So-
is that a +2?
It's plus
Normally?
4
Yeah.
because I'm a helpful halfling.
Right, you've got that special shit. Okay, +4.
All right. And we'll loose.
Oh boy.
It hovered on the 18 for a second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm afraid even with so you shoot it and so that does not have the +4 included, or it does.
That's with.
Okay.
That's with everything.
Oh
Okay,
god.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm afraid
That's
you
the two. What can you do?
shoot one and you hit the table leg of the pyramid that Aesric or that Royman already hit, and it kind of collapses to the ground. And
That was satisfying. It wasn't what I meant to do, but I enjoyed that.
yeah, Aesric kind of leans over past or around your shoulder and goes, "Well, you hit something, so that's certainly better than the half elf lass over there."
Blythe
Well,
gives another big
here's-
thumbs up.
here's hoping that the second shot turns out a little bit better. And I'll retract the arm,
While
rearm.
Vanya's doing that, Cardi leans over to Blythe and says, "Just don't give Aesric any old mind. He's a bit of a grouchy folk. You did fine."
Oh, no,
Right,
he was
uh,
fine. He was just fine.
Maybe a little less premature on the fire there, eh?
She'll give you a look for a second at the fire comment, and then we'll take another shot.
Okay,
Hey.
much better. All right, so is this factoring the -4?
Oh,
Because
Oh no! So
there's a
it's
-4 for
Oh,
the,
shit.
using a siege engine and +4 for being aided.
Oh my
So,
god!
It'd be a 12 then, I guess.
Yeah. that's
So
12.
you would hit one of the top stone goes flying off, and Aesric says, "Well, you got one of them, and you've still got one shot left. Better make it a good one."
All right. This one's for all the stones. I'm not good at puns or metaphors.
This one's for all the ales.
and loose.
Hey.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that's a good shot.
Right
you
before
needed
it flies
16
away,
to hit.
Royman makes it glow. That's why it.
Okay. Yeah, the glowing stone hurtles through the air and knocks the remaining stones away from or off the table. And Aesric claps, and you guys see it. The sun is starting to go down. It's starting to get toward evening, and he claps. He says, "Well, that's perfect. The last of my small catapults is one, and it looks like it's time to wind things in." And he gives you a nod. And he says, "Excellent work, Vanya. I suppose I'll be seeing you around town. I'm probably going to drink a whole lot tonight."
We'll have something in stock for you tomorrow morning. And she turns. Vanya will turn around and will extend a hand to Roymond and say, "Thank you for your assistance, Roymond. It definitely got me through that." And she'll like take the little toy that she wins and like clack hers against his.
Nice. Yep. He definitely returns that, and he happy to help.
As Vanya approaches Cardi again, Cardi is holding his hands together and says, "Very well done, Vanya. I've got something for you." And he opens his hands and casts prestidigitation to make little fireworks pop out.
Nice.
Of course. Okay.
I'm not sure how Vanya would take that, but I think she feels the niceness behind it.
Was
Probably
so was
appreciate it.
Reinhold like scoping us out this whole time? Like, what was he doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
A dwarf
And
of few
he-
words.
He was not
Hashtag
impressed
super
by what he
creepin'.
saw.
He's not impressed. I mean,
Maybe by the halfling.
that's a fair
Well,
assessment.
no, the halfling did sort of bumble his way into success.
That was
so.
that was pure luck. Reinhold can tell.
I like the idea that like Vanya didn't even hit the pyramid once. Reinhold was just like sniping it with a crossbow from like across the way. At the same
120
time she
feet
was
back.
shooting. Yeah, it's like. Shoom.
Whatever
Um,
gets me my little catapult.
Okay, I think. Yeah, evening winds on, and it looks like most of the contests are sort of winding down to a close, and it looks like everybody's kind of packing up, finishing up their food and some of their ale. Everybody's in fine spirits. when this kind of group of 4 people out in front of the cathedral move out, and it looks like they're about to begin speaking. And I think that is a good place to put a pin in it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Cool.
And then
How
we'll
much
have our
experience do I
bit
get
of
for
a-
killing that devil?
2
All right,
2 XP. You got it.
2 more than I
I'm-
had.
Yeah, that is true. That's exponentially more than you had. Yeah.
Exponentially.
Ha ha ha.
But
Oh no!
Cthulhu
mine
is just born.
So,
just died.
I did take the liberty of recording this session.
Okay.
If everybody's okay with that, I will upload it for our future consumption.
That's fine with me.
I don't think
I
that's
wish to
anything
ingest it
too
orally.
dodgy. you're gonna
Andrew, how
ingest
do
it
you
orally.
feel?
Sure, whatever.
All right, cool.
Okay.
That was in there for legal reasons. Just kidding.
Of course it is.
I think that is a great idea.
I, Tanner, provide my consent to this.
Yeah.
Well
I,
played.
Tanner, provide my consent to this.
Hi, my name is Tanner Wiseman, and I provide consent.
That was actually really good.
It's like the best deep fake visuals with like the worst fucking audio, just kind of like clips slapped in there.
Did you guys see the deepfake of Jon Snow apologizing for Game of Thrones season 8?
No, I didn't see
It's
that.
so good.
Oh, man.
I'll,
All right.
There